Recently, I uploaded a video about the Google Pixel 8, and so far it's an okay device. I did my unboxing, I've been using it for a little while. Truthfully, I haven't done as much as I want to because I don't currently have a case for it. The case is in the mail. I use eBay, I don't use Amazon. Had I used Amazon, I'm sure the case would have been here by now. And I didn't want to pay whatever prices Best Buy had for the cases that were in store. So I'm waiting. But so far it's an okay device. But the one thing that I am missing out on is consider subscribing. Dedicated hardware to unlock the phone with my face. I know that there is software that will use the front facing camera here to unlock the phone, but the dedicated hardware is a little more secure and I kind of just like it. The software that's on the Pixel 8 series phones has been improved for Face Unlock. Right now, using this software, you can unlock the phone. You can also use it to authenticate into some of the more secure apps like banking apps. And there's probably some other things that I'm just not familiar with. But clearly, Google has done something to make it quote unquote better than the last few years of Android Face Unlock, whatever you want to call it. But with that being said, it does look like somebody's already figured a way to fool it. So Google Pixel 8 Face Unlock has reportedly been fooled already. We're not going to go through the whole article, but it does look like it's not as secure as what Google wants it to be. It's not as secure as if there were dedicated hardware there to actually serve this purpose. So what I did, just because I was bored one day, is I just started playing around with different versions of some type of facial recognition hardware/software. So I set up a camera in front of a monitor, and that monitor is connected to cameras, and you'll see me coming to the screen in a second. So let me go ahead and press play. And the first thing that we're going to test out is the iPhone. We all know that the iPhone has Face ID. And when you turn the lights off, you can see things that you normally are unable to see with the naked eye. So I'll hold it up to my face and boom, right there. Scan my face, authenticated, unlock the device. Let's see it one more time. Boom. All right. And there we go. And do I do it for a third time? I don't know why I was staring so long at the screen. There's nothing on the screen. And third time, boom, unlocked. Okay. And let's hope I did not do it a fourth time. I did not. So we come over here and we can see that there's a ton of text to read about Apple and Apple's Face ID. Tons of stuff relating to the technology behind it and how it's so secure. But if we come here, and I know it's a little small, we can see that in terms of the dedicated hardware that's there, we have an infrared camera, we have a flood illuminator, and we have a dot projector. For the infrared camera, it says an infrared camera reads the dot pattern, captures an infrared image, then sends the data to the secure enclave in the A12 Bionic chip to confirm a match. And it mentions the A12 because this is an old image. So just update that A series chip with whatever is in your iPhone or of course in the current iPhones and we're good to go. Then we have the flood illuminator, which says invisible infrared light helps identify your face even when it's dark. So definitely in the dark environment that I am simulating over there, we need something like that to help out when it comes to seeing the face. And then lastly, we have a dot projector. More than 30,000 invisible dots are projected onto your face to build your unique facial map. So all of these things working in tandem so that way a 3D image of your face is generated and a composite of that is stored locally on the device. So that way you are able to authenticate into the device. Now, I will say this, and this is where some naysayers might say, oh, this is why you can't just go off and buy a third-party Face ID enclave like this because it has to be as secure as possible. And I get there are ways where you can probably install a third-party one that has been compromised and then doesn't work the way that you want to, or might uh, theoretically allow somebody else to authenticate into the device. I get it. There are definitely ways that that is possible, but I also feel like there are ways that when connected to the device can say, okay, we are going to wipe whatever information is currently stored on here, and we will set it up the way that it needs to be set up, so that way it is as secure. Because I did at one point in time purchase an iPhone 10, and the only issue with it was the fact that Face ID wouldn't work. And even though the front facing camera did work, I believe, I still wasn't able to actually use Face ID to unlock the phone. And that's a huge bummer when it comes to the right to repair. Not that this is a right to repair video. But let's get back to the video that I am recording and then now talking about. So I'm going to turn on the light real quick, maybe. Yeah, turn on the light real fast. And show you that that is the Pixel 4 right there, which I also have in my hand right here. And you could already see that there was some light being shown that I probably am not able to see with my naked eye. So even as I'm unlocking the phone right now, as I'm doing it on the camera, yep, I can't see anything, but maybe you can looking at my little window. So yeah, I know it's trying to unlock, but there's no face there. If I turn it to my face, boom, it unlocks instantly, and we're good to go. So I tried a few more times, and I'll explain in a second why I'm putting the phone down and picking it back up, although I don't think it was doing what I wanted to do. So I'm going to stop right there, and let's come over here. And this is an old article, came out a few years ago. It says Pixel 4 Face Unlock versus Apple Face ID, how they're different and how Google's might be better. And we're not going to go through that whole article. But if we come over here to the image of the hardware that's at the top of the front of this phone, we can see that there's a bunch of stuff here. So we have the face unlock, infrared camera, the front-facing camera, the ambient light / proximity sensor, which I don't think we really need that for this purpose. The audio port, the Soli radar chip. We'll come back to that in a second. The face unlock dot projector, another face unlock IR camera, and then the face unlock flood illuminator. So some of those things definitely overlap with what Apple has for their Face ID, but that Soli radar chip. The reason I was putting the phone down is because that radar chip sends out essentially a half sphere of radar waves. And what it does is it allows the phone to wake up as a person is reaching for the device. So if I have the device sitting right here, which hopefully you can see it, and I reach my hand, as I break the plane right there, it lights up. And it gets ready for somebody to actually pick up the device. So it theoretically makes it a little faster when it comes to unlocking the phone. I don't know how big of a deal it really is, but I pick up the phone and it's unlocked. So this thing, I really like it. And as we can see, the dedicated hardware is there and is required to actually unlock the phone securely compared to what we have with some other Android devices. So let's get back to the video. And what do we have next? We have a Dell laptop. Now, I don't have the laptop down here, but there is a bar at the top of that screen that has a camera and a bunch of this other stuff that's required for Windows Hello. So let's see how this looks. And the first time I watched this video, I just started busting out laughing because, yeah, it just seems like it's so over the top. But and you'd think that I'm blinded as I'm looking at the screen right there, but I'm not. I'm just looking at the screen, and there is like a little flashing light that does go off, but nothing in comparison to how it looks when we're looking through these cameras like this. But Windows Hello is used to unlock the computer. I do not know how secure it is compared to Face ID. I don't know if I'm able to unlock or access secure websites, things of that nature. I really don't know. But this is the Pixel 8. And as we can see, it is doing nothing. And I'm going to give it a few more tries. But the only message that I'm getting on the screen right now is the fact that there isn't enough light. And because it doesn't have all of that additional hardware to produce light, even if the eye isn't able to see it itself, we need light from external sources if I'm trying to unlock the phone in a dimly lit environment like right here. So yeah, definitely sucks. It really does. Regardless of what Google claims they've done with more recent software updates. And lastly, I just included this because I actually did a lot more, but it didn't turn out the way that I wanted to. So I just included this last little spot. And here's another Dell laptop, again, with that bar of camera and other sensors on top of the screen. And yes, I mean, you can see how close I am to it. And even though there is like a little flashing light, it's nothing in comparison to how it looks when we're watching it through a camera like this. So as I continue to play with my Pixel 8 here, I am a little disappointed, as I mentioned before. And even though, yes, we can try to do a lot of things through software, at some point in time, yeah, it's just like, well, software is good. It really is. And will continue to get better. But we just need the hardware. And when it comes to a lot of these tech companies, and I feel like myself just in life too, usually it's like, I'm not asking for too much. And in certain situations, it's, I'm not even asking for something that you haven't already done. Put it back. Yeah, just put it back. There, as phone sizes and screens have gotten bigger, there's more than enough room up there to put that bar back. And I get people care about bezels and stuff, and I know I have a. Let me go ahead and change the wallpaper. You can see that there's a border on the top of the phone, okay, and a lot of people are concerned about, we need as much space as possible for the screen, and we want to have slim bezels, so forth and so forth, and I'm just like, just put it back. Okay, that's all I can really say. Put it back.